Part 22. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 211. Chapter 211, Little Ancestor, have you arrived? Little Ancestor, are you here? Hutterfly is Fenling's editor. I have never seen Fenling in person before, so I don't know what Fenling looks like. But she had heard Fenling's voice, which sounded very nice, so Butterfly thought that this 11 would not be too bad anyway. In any case, their writers don't really require good looks, as long as they can make a living and be seen. Arrive. Fenling parked the car on the side of the road and got out of the car. You send me the location and I'll find you, Fenling said. Hutterfly nodded, okay, wait a moment, I'll send it now. After getting the location of the butterfly, Fenling raised her feet and walked in the direction of the butterfly. Hutterfly is a pretty girl. When Fenling walked in front of her, Butterfly was still looking around, probably looking for her, but Fenling was a little confused. She was already standing in front of her. Shouldn't she be surprised? Don't you doubt that she is 11? As soon as Fenling finished this thought, she heard the woman in front of her ask, "Kid, who are you looking for?" Fenling, looking for you. Look for me, obviously. Butterfly was still a little confused. Fenling. Is there something wrong with her editor's brain? Should she suggest that she go to the FL Institute to have her brain examined? After all, they still take care of brain business. I am 11. Butterfly was stunned for a while, and then roared to the sky, you. Fenling. Sure enough, there is something wrong with my brain. Are you really 11? Butterfly no longer cares about his own image. He grabbed Fenling's hand and began to look at the face, as if he was afraid that Fenling would run away. They are all saying that 11 is a fat head and big ears middle-aged greasy man. I said no, she is a woman, but you are so beautiful. With this face, what the is the author doing? Go to the entertainment industry. Is it okay to be worth hundreds of millions? Hutterfly suddenly felt that it was a pity for Fenling to be the author. Fenling, listen to what you mean. You thought I was a middle-aged greasy woman with a fat head and big ears before. Butterfly, how could it be? I'm your editor, how could I think bad things about you? It's simply too tasteless, okay. Fenling, but I think that's how you feel. Without caring about the butterfly anymore, Fenling said, is this the place where the activity is? Yes, Butterfly nodded. Then he saw Fenling stretching out a hand, where's the thing you promised me? Butterfly, money obsessed. It's really money losing. Here you go. Butterfly took a deep breath and took out a bank card from his pocket and gave it to Fenling. Can you go to the event with me now? Okay. Fenling glanced at the bank card, then put it into his pocket with satisfaction. I can tell you that there are many fans of your book coming to this event. We originally planned to let you enter wearing a mask, but now. Have you prepared the masks? Fenling captured their information. Then, before the butterfly could react, he stretched out his hand and said with a smile, give it to me. Butterfly. Actually, you look so good, you don't need to wear it. It's a pity that Butterfly didn't know that Fenling didn't want to show up too much at this time. After all, her vest had already exploded too much. If it exploded again, there would be nothing left. 11 is coming. That's 11, she looks good. It's so small that it feels like a child. What are you talking about? How could a child write such a good article? If she were a child, I would swallow the earth. Forget about the earth, maybe we can solve the problem of global warming. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 212. Chapter 212 Insult. While everyone was laughing, they all focused on Fenling. The girl was dressed very simply, wearing a casual white t-shirt, denim trousers, And a black jacket. She looked inexplicably sassy. But anyone with a sharp eye will find that the clothes on Feng Ling are worth a lot of money. The total cost of a suit of clothes is at least hundreds of thousands or even millions. Such people come to write in their circle? At the moment, some people in the upper circles are confused. Although Shi is great at writing and makes a lot of money from his articles, he is not rich enough to spend millions on a suit of clothes. The only possibility is that on this 11th day, my family has a mine. Feng Ling didn't know what everyone was thinking. She only knew that when she came in, there was a very hot look looking at them. She looked over and saw that it was a girl. Butterfly noticed Feng Ling's gaze and reminded her, "That's Ning Luo, she's also a new writer. She's been very popular recently. Everyone says she's a beautiful writer." Hutterfly didn't say anything else, because Ning Luo was not a writer under her, and there was no need for her to brag about anything. She only needs to be responsible for taking care of a few writers under her. However, just because Butterfly doesn't talk about it, it doesn't mean that people won't get involved. What a coincidence, Ning Luo is the kind of person who doesn't like others being better than him. "Hello, this is Shi. Nice to meet you. My name is Ning Luo." Ning Luo pretended to be eager and moved forward. Feng Ling glanced at her and nodded politely, "Hello, 11." Ning Luo's face stiffened. How could this Shi be so enthusiastic about a human relationship that she didn't understand? She only had 4 words. Feng Ling really didn't know what to say, and she wasn't familiar with Ning Luo. She suddenly ran out to introduce herself, so of course she could only respond politely. After all, she really didn't know who Ning Luo was before coming here. Unfortunately, Ning Luo thought that Feng Ling was pretending on purpose. He must have seen that she was prettier than him, so he became jealous. Thinking of this, Ning Luo couldn't help but feel proud. Her face, if nothing else, was rare, at least in the circle of writers. "The event is about to start, I'll take you to the venue." Ning Luo continued to introduce enthusiastically. Feng Ling frowned. She didn't like the feeling of being surrounded by strangers. Butterfly sensed Feng Ling's unhappiness and walked up to Feng Ling to block Ning Luo. "I'm sorry, Miss Ning. She's not very good at communicating with others. I can just take her there. She's a writer under me." "Yo. Butterfly, why, when you bring out an 11, your tail rises to the sky, and even I, the writer under the teacher, look down on you." Suddenly, an old woman came out. She is Butterfly's master, and her online name is Lemon. Hearing this tone is indeed quite sour. Feng Ling said silently in his heart. Hunter Butterfly pursed her lips when she saw Lemon. She didn't say anything more, but just explained, "Teacher, I didn't mean that. It's just that 11 is really not very good at and doesn't like communicating with strangers." "Strangers, are we, Ning Luo, strangers? Even if you have never seen her in person, you should have seen her works." "I'm sorry, I really haven't seen it. Before I came here, I didn't even see the word Ning Luo." Feng Ling was quite honest. Lemon was stunned for a moment and subconsciously said, "How is that possible? How is it impossible? She is not as good as me, why should I look at her instead of looking at someone who is better than me?" Feng Ling feels that her thinking should be quite easy to understand. Everyone. It sounds very reasonable. Ning Luo clenched his hands beside him. This 11 actually insulted her in front of so many people. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 213. Chapter 213 Big Boss. She stared at Feng Ling, wishing she could tear this man into pieces. It's a pity that she didn't receive even a look of charity from Feng Ling. It's quite pitiful. The event has started. Feng Ling looked at Butterfly. Hutterfly was stunned for a moment and nodded. Well, let's start. Then I'll take you there. Although Lemon is her master, she is not Feng Ling's. As Feng Ling is the boss of their novel world, even Lemon can only look up. After all, their editor's money is also part of the money earned by these bosses. Cut out. So, these big guys are their food and clothing parents. Even if Lemon was dissatisfied, she would not do anything to Feng Ling. At most, it is dissatisfaction in the heart. However, when Feng Ling said Lemon like this, I have to say that Butterfly felt quite happy. She has been in the industry for more than a year, and Lemon has been her teacher since she entered the industry. But Lemon relied on her seniority and looked down on newcomers like them. A lot of bonuses from many events were shared with Lemon, but she didn't contribute much. The new editors under them just dared to be angry and dare not speak out. This time, I helped them get rid of their bad temper. The Butterfly brought Feng Ling to the event place. The people sitting underneath are all readers. They are fans of different authors, but looking over, Feng Ling has the most fans, and the red number 11 is dazzling. It's simply impossible to ignore. Feng Ling glanced at the sign below. Her expression did not waver at all. Butterfly couldn't help but sigh. He is indeed a rich man. If an ordinary author saw such a scene, he would be extremely excited. What's more, this is Feng Ling's first time. You sit here first, and the host will come on stage to introduce you one by one. In a while, if you have anything, just ask the people on stage to come down and tell me. Yeah, Feng Ling nodded lightly without saying anything else. It can be said that he is the best boss to deal with. Other big guys, many of them have many things going on. One moment they say their clothes are inappropriate, and the next they say they need to touch up their makeup. Feng Ling, oh, he is wearing a mask, so he doesn't care about pretending at all. But in fact, Feng Ling always wears light makeup, and does not wear heavy makeup like others, because heavy makeup does not suit her at all, and she is beautiful enough in her own right. Would it be too hurtful to say this? Anyway, the Butterfly went down. After stepping down from the stage, Lemon went directly to Butterfly. What's wrong with the author you have? He doesn't know how to respect people at all. What does it mean not to know Ning Luo? Can this kind of thing be said on the table? Hutterfly thought to himself, you don't respect 11 very much either. On the face, she still said, haha, master, this is the character of 11. What's more, you also know that I am just a small editor. I coaxed her for a long time before coaxing her over. She is a golden brand, and we can't treat her like this. It's not okay for Ning Luo to be angry. Otherwise, if this person leaves, I'm afraid we won't be able to live without it. You also know how much money the organizer paid to have her come. She is gone. Is it difficult for us to pay back the money? Lemon. Haha, she can't even afford to sell it for millions. She is just a small editor earning 4,000 to 5,000 yuan a month. Forget it. In short, you have to figure it out and try to keep her out of trouble. Yes, master, I will try my best, but if your blind person offends the boss and the boss gets angry and kills her on the spot, then her best efforts will be useless. After all, the boss has the temper of a boss. Butterfly thought to himself. She has always wondered when Lemon would hit the iron plate, but she didn't expect it to come so soon. The Butterfly is a little excited now. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 214. Chapter 214. Lemon, do you know the origin of that 11? Ning Luo found Lemon and asked about it. She asked someone to investigate 11, but she knew nothing. She only knew that she suddenly started writing 3 years ago, and she became a popular new author with her first book. But, is this possible? Shouldn't it be possible? I don't know, none of us know, and the senior management also blocks information about 11, and all her contract information is directly communicated with the senior management. Even Butterfly was the editor she chose at random, so Butterfly didn't know the specific information about 11. Don't know, Ning Luo frowned. If she didn't know, she would have gotten it. After all, if there was really something wrong with this 11, she couldn't afford it. But don't worry too much, Lemon comforted, since this 11 is wearing a mask, it means that she is not very handsome in this case, she cannot threaten you, you can go there boldly. Don't worry, today's home field is yours. Well, I know, don't worry, I won't be like a person who doesn't dare to meet people. Ning Luo nodded obediently. Lemon patted Ning Luo on the shoulder with satisfaction. I brought you here, I believe you can do it, come on. Yeah, Ning Luo smiled, and then followed Lemon to the scene, but the moment he turned around, his expression turned very ugly. She does not allow anyone better than her to exist. In the world of writers, she must be the most popular one, and no one else can. This 11th, she must leave the world of writers. Hey, I agree to your terms, help me get Shi off the stage, I want her reputation to be ruined. Are you sure? A rather sinister voice came from the other side. You must know that once discovered, you will be the one who will be ruined. My means, you know, cannot see the light of day. If I could see the light, what would I do to you? Ning Luo sneered. Don't they like their 11? I want them to know how messy their favorite 11's private life is. She wanted to see if anyone would like an author with a chaotic private life. A hint of sinisterness flashed through Ning Luo's eyes. The voice on the phone didn't persuade her anymore. Anyway, he just started to persuade her. Even if they didn't listen, he couldn't continue his business if they didn't listen to his advice. Okay, don't worry, I'll start tonight. Waiting for your good news. Ning Luo curled her lips and walked to the stage in high heels. There were many authors here today, but Feng Ling was the only one wearing a mask, so as soon as the live broadcast room started, people began to guess who this person was. After seeing familiar figures one after another, everyone finally discovered that this masked woman might be the legendary 11. It's 11, it's definitely 11, she's really here. Ah, I'm so excited, I can actually see the 11 gods one day. 11 gods, I love you. Love you forever. Why is 11 wearing a mask? I really want to see 11's true face. Some people are excited, and some are sad. What's the 11th day? I don't think anyone wears a mask when going out. I must be too ugly, so I wear a mask to avoid seeing people. That's right, I don't have any reason to wear a mask. Why are you attending events with a mask on? You might as well stay at home. How do you say the above? I am an author, so what's wrong with wearing a mask? I just keep a low profile and don't want my private life to be disturbed. Even if I'm not a celebrity, is it stipulated that I can't go out to participate in events without wearing a mask? End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 215. Chapter 215 Fan Game. I see there are all Ning Luo fans upstairs. What, is it because your Ning Luo only has good looks and nothing good? Maybe I can't write about the 11 great gods, so I feel bad about it. Oh, this sour taste makes my teeth fall out, it's so sour. Ha ha ha, the quality of Ning Luo's fans is just like this, they don't focus on themselves, they only know the connotation of others. Primary school students, just go home and study. Didn't you hear your mother tell you to study? In the comment area of the live broadcast room, fans of Ning Luo and fans of 11 started a war of words. Fans of 11 have never seen anything. When the first book of 11 was so well written, some people began to question it, and even said that 11 plagiarized it. As a result, fans of 11 spent a whole month and a half using various color palettes to prove that 11-1 is not plagiarized. Furthermore, the writing style of 11 had not been seen by anyone at that time. Later, 11 did not participate in the writers' event a year ago. Many people speculated whether 11 was not allowed to meet people, and 11's fans directly responded. They have experienced a lot, so Ningluo fans are simply not optimistic about this in their eyes. Hello, are you 11? There was a little girl next to 11. She looked about the same age as Fengling, and should be 2 or 3 years older than Fengling. It's just that she looks very small. Same as underage. Hello, I'm Shuangxiu, I'm also a writer, and I'm also your fan. 11 I didn't expect you to come to the event this year. I'm really happy to meet you. Shuangxiu was a little excited and started talking all at once, but she couldn't stand it anymore. 11, you know, I started writing because I read your novel. I'm really happy to meet you, but I didn't expect that. You don't look very big. Can I ask how old you are? 18, Fengling said lightly. I don't really dislike this overly enthusiastic girl. Shuangxiu has an inexplicable smell that can make people feel better. 18? Really? 11, are you kidding me? Shuangxiu was shocked. 11 is now 18, but 3 years ago, it was only 15? A 15-year-old girl wrote a book like Feng Yu. Is this really real? But looking at Fengling's appearance, he didn't look like he was lying. Finally, Shuangxiu finally recognized the reality that geniuses exist in this world. 11, why are you so young? I thought I was young enough. I've read your work and it's good. Fengling looked at Shuangxiu and said. Have you read my book? Yes, Fengling nodded. At that time, you said on Weibo that you liked me, and I happened to be connected when I was browsing Weibo, so I took a look. Your writing ability is much better now than it was a year ago. Very powerful. Thank you, goddess, I will continue to work hard. Shuangxiu was very happy to be praised by those who liked her. You're welcome, you worked hard yourself. Fengling smiled. By the way, what is the main purpose of this event, can you tell me? Don't you know, then why are you willing to participate? They paid me a lot of money, so I came here, Fengling said sincerely. Shuangxiu. So now big bosses like Shi also have to pay attention to money? This world where money is paramount, Qin. Shuangxiu explained seriously, this event is mainly about communication and competition between writers and fans. There will be games, which are different every year. I don't know what the game will be this year, but we will select a few fans to come up. Then I will form a team with my fans. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 216. Chapter 216 Game. That's it, Fengling nodded, indicating that he understood, but, how do you choose fans? Before Shuangxiu had time to answer, the host over there had already begun to introduce the writers who came to participate in the event. Probably from the small coffee position to the big coffee position, so Fengling was placed at the end. When we arrived at Fengling, there were a lot more shouts. Compared with Ningluo, Ningluo was just a game played by primary school students. Ningluo is now among the writers, and her face is not very good. Today is her home field, but now, all the limelight has been stolen by this 11. Fengling didn't feel much at all. Anyway, she just took the money and came over to go through the motions. The host begins to introduce the rules of the game. This year our game asks you to draw and I guess, but the drawing is a stroke. The strokes are drawn by our fans and friends, and the guesses are made by our writers. The one who wins in the end will get our final grand prize. $20,000. Ah. 20,000 is a very high income for both fans and writers. Of course, Fengling is nothing. When she heard 20,000, she didn't even raise her eyelids. She was very calm, and the butterflies under her eyes twitched. "Boss, I know you don't care, but you don't have to be so offensive. Okay, next, our writer friends will go down there to find our fan friends." Microphone. Huh, what? The host was a little confused. Then he saw Feng Ling take the microphone from his hand and said, "You are the two in the middle of the first row. Everyone. Could you be a little more careless?" In order to avoid the silence, the host asked, "Okay, then let's ask our 11 great gods, why did you choose the two of them? Good looking. Everyone. Aren't you afraid of offending others by saying this?" At this moment, it caused a group of people below to laugh. Feng Ling was a little confused. What's so funny about this? Just choose whoever you like. Can you play this game? Feng Ling asked. They were both girls. They looked at each other. One said that he had never played before, and the other said that he was not very good at playing. Feng Ling was silent for a while, and then said under the awkward gazes of the two girls, "It doesn't matter, it was me who guessed anyway." She guessed it was a song. She had all the songs in her head, so she wasn't afraid. The two girls looked at each other, their admiration for Feng Ling growing in their hearts. In the live broadcast room, someone heard Feng Ling's words and started to ridicule. "Don't be afraid of showing off your tongue even when you are bragging. That's right, if I watch someone later, I think she will definitely get slapped in the face." Ha ha ha, sure, do you need to say more? Ning Luo carefully selected the person, and then he curled his lips when he heard Feng Ling's words. He was indeed arrogant. But in this world, arrogance has no good fruits to eat. The winner of this competition must be her. Ning Luo raised his chin, "I'll be the first one up." "Okay, we, Ning Luo, will be the first to go, so let's start the timer." Not to mention, the questions set by the organizer of this event are still a bit difficult. There were several times when Baihua's fans didn't know what to do and were stunned on the spot. Ning Luo almost ran away on the spot. She doesn't understand how there can be any stupid people. It's just a stroke of paint. What's so difficult about it? However, in front of so many people, she still had to maintain a good-tempered image. At the end, Ning Luo guessed 10 questions correctly in 2 minutes. When the host said it was the highest in history, Ning Luo smiled with satisfaction and said, "It's because of their good strokes." It instantly aroused the good impression of everyone. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 217. Chapter 217. Guess the word. How come our Luo is so good? I almost want to cry. She is so good, she can write, is so beautiful, and has such a good personality. I am really lucky to have her as a fan. Yes, Luo is really a good person. At the moment of the barrage, a bunch of rainbow farts appeared. Ning Luo's live broadcast message from Lemon came through her earphones. She curled her lips and looked in Feng Ling's direction. "Look, no matter what you do, the home court is still hers. Today, no one is allowed to take over her home court." Feng Ling didn't want to worry about Ning Luo at all. She had to come anyway after receiving the money. Of course she had to do her own thing well when she came. Otherwise, how could she be worthy of the organizer giving her so much money? Okay, next, let's invite 11 and her 2 fans. Let us welcome. There was a roar in the place. Feng Ling glanced at the 2 girls and said calmly, "No need to feel pressure, just feel free." 2 girls. Looking at you like this, you seem to be quite casual. Compared to the nervous looks of other authors, Feng Ling's attitude made the 2 girls feel less nervous instantly. Inexplicably, they began to get close to the writer they liked. "Come on, 11, Shuangxiu quietly cheered Feng Ling from behind. Feng Ling reached out and gave her an okay gesture. Shuangxiu immediately covered her heart. "Woo woo hoo, why can Big 11 be so handsome? Aw. Okay, let's look at the first question. The host opened the topic and it was a four-letter word, there is a market but no price. The two girls looked at each other. They understood the meaning, but how to draw it? A girl motioned blankly as if paying money. Another girl was a little confused because she was playing for the first time and didn't know how to draw strokes. In an instant, the people in the live broadcast room were also a little anxious. What's going on, strokes, what's wrong with standing still? That's right, you're so stupid, you might as well let me go up. Have you graduated from college? This is too stupid. Feng Ling couldn't see the barrage in the live broadcast room, and even if she saw it, it wouldn't cause any disturbance. She looked at the two girls calmly, her voice was calm and there was no anxiety at all. Is it related to money? The girl with the strokes nodded, shook her head, and then made an X gesture. Feng Ling narrowed her eyes, can't you buy it with money? The girl's eyes lit up and she nodded desperately. The next second, Feng Ling accurately said the four words marketable but priceless. The whole audience. Everyone. Awesome. It's amazing. Feng Ling was quite calm and looked at the host. Next question. Moderator. Sorry, he was stunned too, so he will give you the title. The next question is a proverb. It's called Auspicious Snow Heralds a Good Year. Everyone. Is this the same difficulty level as the previous question? What is this plan? The girl who had not been writing just now finally moved. She stretched out a hand and stretched out 5 fingers. Feng Ling, 5 words. The girl nodded and then made a very cold gesture. Feng Ling, winter. Snow. Everyone, this classmate, your divergent thinking ability is so great. Is this something that normal people can directly relate to? Normal people would most likely think of winter. How do you think of snow? If they asked, Feng Ling would just look at them with confusion. Is there anything you can't think of in this? Isn't winter and snow standard? As long as you think of winter, you can think of snow. Although, this is really not a problem. The two girls nodded excitedly, and the other girl made a motion. Then the first girl saw that she was really doing it, and she also squatted down and made a harvesting motion. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 218. Chapter 218 again? Ho, harvest, harvest. Feng Ling used a method of casting a wide net. After the two girls nodded, she directly said the correct answer, auspicious snow heralds a good year. Two girls. Is this what it feels like to be taken flying? Actually, their strokes are pretty good. The reason why I felt that I was not playing well before was definitely because the other party was too rubbish. The other being connoted, why can't you think that this person is too powerful? Why are they rubbish? They are not convinced. Under Feng Ling's cool flying mode, the 3 people guessed 15 questions correctly, which were all the questions prepared for the show. The whole audience was in an uproar. This variety show is not that exciting. It's simply awesome, okay. 11. 11. 11. Everyone in the audience was shouting 11. The Ning logo thing in front of them had been forgotten by everyone for a long time. I still want them to remember it after playing like this. Just think about it. Ning Luo's face was dark, and the 2 fans who looked at her had bad expressions. Fortunately, these 2 fans were also stunned by Feng Ling's flying mode and did not look at Ning Luo. But this made Ning Luo's expression even worse. Lemon gradually calmed down after reminding her about facial management through the earphones. But her nails were already deeply embedded into her flesh. 11. Just wait for me, she would definitely not let her go, definitely. There is also a game at the end, which is a song guessing game. Fans and authors form a group and compete in pairs. The group that guesses the most songs correctly wins. Feng Ling glanced at the two starry-eyed girls next to her and pursed her lips. Not this round. I don't have that many songs in my head. She is quite picky when it comes to listening to music, and only supports singers she likes, so she only has songs from singers she likes in her mind, so in this game, she can only watch these two girls. Don't worry, 11, I'm good at this round. The girl with the ponytail patted her chest and smiled brightly. I'll lead this round, hey hey hey. Then I'll just lie down. Feng Ling raised her eyebrows, and the three people gathered around and laughed as if no one was watching. The host asked, is 11 talking to his fans? Why are you so happy? Feng Ling raised her eyebrows. She said she wanted to take me away, so I'm going to win this round. Everyone. Can this be said so openly? Feng Ling. Why not? They did say that they would take her away. Everyone, just be happy. The host twitched his mouth, then changed the topic and let everyone start. At first, after hearing what Feng Ling said, everyone had given up hope for them, but who is Feng Ling? Is it the 11 great gods? Can the fans of great gods be ordinary people? Obviously not possible. So, Feng Ling really won all the way to the finals. Feng Ling, look, you still don't believe me when I say she took her away. There are many people in this world that you can't compare with, and I'm not the only one. Everyone, Master, is it really okay for you to be so heartbroken? Can't we give them ordinary people a way to survive? Ah! Is this what a great should say? Is it? The finals are still between Feng Ling and Ning Luo. Ning Luo really relies on herself. The two fans next to her really know nothing. All I know is that she is great. What's the use of saying she's great? If you have that time, you might as well give her more questions. Comparing it with Shi's fans, her fans are as good as heaven and earth. Ning Luo gritted his teeth and looked at Feng Ling with a smile. 11, I didn't expect that it would be the two of us competing again. Again, Feng Ling frowned and looked at the host. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 219. Chapter 219. Go back. Have we ever competed in the finals before? Miss Ning Luo was the second in the last round, the host answered carefully. Feng Ling frowned. Didn't we win the last round with a crushing victory? Is there anyone I would like to see at the top? The fan of Feng Ling behind him couldn't help but laugh. What should I say? What Feng Ling said is indeed true. I just didn't expect to see him at the top. However, saying this doesn't give Ning Luo face. Look at how embarrassed Ning Luo is. However, she didn't really like Ning Luo anyway and thought she was too pretentious, so Feng Ling criticized her, and she raised her hands and feet in agreement. Ning Luo could dig out 3 rooms with her toes. She never expected that Feng Ling would be so disrespectful to her. She looked at Feng Ling awkwardly. I'm sorry, I made a mistake in my choice of words. It's all my fault. Let's start the game. Feng Ling raised her eyebrows and sat down. How could she not know what Ning Luo was thinking? She just said that because she knew. If Ning Luo didn't intend to look good to her, then she couldn't look good to Ning Luo either. As the saying goes, respect is mutual. If Ning Luo doesn't respect her, there's no way he can get her respect. The final result is obvious. Feng Ying won, and he won in a crushing manner. Ning Luo's expression could hardly be maintained. Today, it has completely become Feng Ling's home field, and she is just a clown who makes Feng Ling shine even more. How can it be? How could this be? Ning Luo sat on the chair and watched the host award Feng Ling with the winning award, feeling jealous in her heart. 11, could you please sign your name for us? After the event, the two girls looked at Feng Ling, their eyes shining. Originally, they did not dare to ask Feng Ling for her autograph because they were afraid of disturbing her, but the activities just now made them all get closer. 11 makes them all feel like cool little sisters. Feng Ling nodded, okay. After signing the two girls' names, Feng Ling was led by Butterfly to her exclusive area. 500 physical books will be released today. In fact, Butterfly originally planned to sell 2,000 copies, but Feng Ling refused because she didn't want to sign so many names at all. Butterfly finally negotiated the 500 copies. Her master is good at everything, but she is lazy and doesn't want to move much at all, like now. Feng Ling was sitting there, watching the long queue of her fans. Then signed slowly. Because I signed quickly and my hands were tired. I'm sorry, please be considerate to the elderly. I signed too quickly and my hands got tired. Fan. What you said is correct, but your voice doesn't sound like they are very old. You say they are old, so can they still live? 11 God, how old are you this year? Why does your voice sound so small? 18 Feng Ling replied calmly. 11 Great gods, you are only 18 years old. All the fans who had not left stopped and stared at Feng Ling in disbelief. 18 years old, an 18-year-old master. Oh my God, what a treasure they have found. In an instant, all the eyes looking at Feng Ling seemed to have changed a little. How to say? Feng Ling always feels that these people's eyes are quite charitable. This is probably what is said in the legend, Mommy Fan? Feng Ling shook her head and got rid of this unreliable idea. She is really cool. How could she have any mom fans? No, no, definitely not, absolutely not. After the signing, Feng Ling said goodbye to Butterfly and prepared to go back. However, on the way back, Feng Ling saw a black car behind him. End of this chapter. The max level boss is too cruel. Author, Fire Otter. Chapter 220. Chapter 220 You said. Feng Ling tried to go around, but the black car followed relentlessly and almost rear-ended him several times. Feng Ling narrowed her eyes and stepped on the accelerator to the bottom. The eyes of the men in the car were widened. What does this girl want to do? He did take over the mission to make her disappear, but there was no need for the girl to commit suicide by driving, right? The man's heart was trembling a little. He wanted her to die, but he didn't want to die. But this girl is driving like this. What if someone comes out and hits his car? The man slowed down the accelerator and prepared to find another way. However, what the man did not expect was that the target in front of him turned around and drove behind him. Now he is being chased. Brother, what the is going on now? The little brother's car was forced all the way to a mountain col. Finally, he ran out of gas and could no longer drive. Feng Ling curled her lips, got out of the car, opened the door and dragged the man out. What are you doing? Who are you? I tell you, kidnapping is illegal. Is it against the law? Feng Ling sneered, then is it not against the law to commit intentional murder? What intentional homicide? I don't know, the man tried to play dumb. However, he didn't expect that Feng Ling took out a recording pen directly, which contained the conversation between him and Ning Luo. The little brother turned pale. How could this woman have evidence of their conversation? Didn't Ning Luo say it's absolutely safe? Then how come Feng Ling has it in his hand? The man turned pale and said, I don't know what this is. Now, he can only deny it to the end. This way you might not be sent to jail. Now, the man regrets taking Ning Luo's order. This is not an ordinary rider, this girl clearly has something. The driving skills of this car can be compared with those of professional racing drivers, and are even better than those of some professional racing drivers. Otherwise, no one can push him to this point. It doesn't matter, you don't need to admit it. Feng Ling squatted down and stepped on the man's stomach. Tell me if Ning Luo asked you to do it. Feng Ling took out a chain with a clock hanging on it. Just like this, the man gradually fell into sleepiness. Yes. What did she ask you to do? She asked me to help you deal with it, the man replied blankly. Fenling said, you agreed. I agreed, and she gave me money, and she gave me a lot. It is indeed easy to do things if you have money. Fenling pouted and continued, did she tell you why she did this to me? Because she feels that you threaten her status, you have more fans than her and write better than her, but you wear a mask and your appearance is probably not very good, so she is not convinced and feels that she should be the one that everyone expects. So she asked you to come and kill me because of this. Yes, the man replied blankly. Fenling pouted, okay, it's okay, you can go to sleep. After saying that, Fenling watched the man fall to the ground and fell asleep, then put away the clock and put his hand on the man's belly. Immediately afterwards, I saw that all the muscles on the man's body began to disappear. This means that in the future, his body may be that of an ordinary person. It is impossible to hunt down or kill him. If he wants to, it may take more than 10 years to do it. Because, Fenling asked him to keep his body strong enough to fight and kill no matter how much he exercised in these 10 years. Normal life is still no problem. Yao Lang, help me with something. After Fenling finished dealing with the man, he called Yao Lang directly. Yao Lang was watching them doing experiments in the laboratory. When Fenling called out, he nodded directly, say. End of this chapter.